Well, I had a good day. More top carve. I know like 90% of this job has been carving the top, and I'm still carving it. It's getting there though. I mean, it might actually be to shape. Now here I'm leveling the fretboard. I decided not to do a radius because it's a nylon string. And I wanted to do this. I was kind of scared to cut the frets, the fret slots in. I was very scared too because I'd never cut fret slots into a board that wasn't radius. But as long as you keep, you don't, you got to watch how much you put the back of the saw down because you'll pop up. But other than that, it went really smoothly, and I'm doing really good. I'm sitting really good right now. I'm almost ready to put the frets in. I was digging through things. I just got boxes of stuff that I've been collecting, and I had to look for stuff for this build. So I went to look for frets, and I found some Gold Evo frets that were really good, but they're radiused. So I would have to flatten them a little bit. I got to dig that out. Starting to dig out tools, look for things, find things. I think that's all radius now. Starting to look really good. Gorgeous fretboard. So here I'm drying it, but I'm just kind of goofing around. Sometimes I like to draw before I actually draw, and after this, I think I tape the fretboard, which I kind of have to do. You can't see the lines anyways. Taking off some excess. This is the first time with the sander on this. It got some areas pretty good that are really hard. It needed a sand because it was getting all washed out, and it was getting kind of formed with the curly figure. I kind of like that look. I wouldn't mind doing that for the top. Just make it look like it was made fresh and then left to dry. So yeah, this is getting close. I have not yet fit the top to the neck. Gonna end up doing that pretty soon. But I think I'm gonna put the frets on. I'm gonna carve the neck fully. Once I put the frets on, I can shape it, and I can start shaping the neck and getting the excess wood off. You almost end up compressing the wood with the blade. You need to turn it up again and level it with the sander. I think next project I'll go back and forth a little bit more. So yeah, I am starting to tune the top, and the top is sounding pretty good. And yeah, I am scraping now after I sanded, so it actually scrapes really nicely. You lose a little bit of your form with the sand, but then you gain in areas. And I'm actually just reshaping it and re-leveling the spot where the neck is going to go too. But yeah, almost done. Really thinking about the sides and really wanting to get the neck together and actually get it glued onto the top. Here I am taping the fretboard because this is kind of how you're able to see on dark surfaces. On maple, you could draw it right on the maple. You could use a pen, it would work fine. I use millimeters for my fretboards. They're smaller than 16ths of an inch. So it's the only thing I use millimeters for, except for, holes for the, headstock and stuff. Here I'm kind of showing you how I'm getting her. So I go through, I look at all these, I mark them, and then I re-go through them and I recheck them, and I'm wearing goggles. I'm wearing those magnification goggles. It helps to see. You got to get kind of close to what you're doing. But this actually produces a really good line. Kind of sucks that you can only do half the board at once, but if you're really careful when you go through it, you'll have a good line. And it looks good. Came out looking good. Here I'm goofing around, showing off my goggles. You got to have them. I mean, you're not going to do intricate work without them. You can see I caught a mistake here. There's a line that's scratched out. Caught it before I razored it. Thank God. Otherwise, I would be sanding and in horrible pain from my mistake. But I haven't made too many, I haven't really made too many on this job. This one's kind of been a joy. That Indian ebony, however, it's unrelenting. So now I got the measurements all done. Now I'm doing the entire board all the way across, marking, and then I'm razoring in all of these cuts afterwards too. The thing about the razor is I use a fresh razor, and it's just the tip that you're using, so you go through a couple razor blades, and I always go back through and double cut the corner so I can start good and clean. Now there's a lot of meat on the side of this neck that doesn't need to be there, but what that helps me do is that helps me be aggressive when I start my cut, so I don't have to really worry about screwing up because that part is going to be taken out. It helps for the leveling and jointing of the board. It helps for I mean everything. I think it made this process kind of doable, and the frets came out really good. I mean, it's more area, so So if you're giving yourself more area, you're going to be more accurate, especially with something that can be off by an angle, which, you know, you're working with a guitar, which there's nothing but angles, and things can be rather deceiving. Always check twice, always rethink what you're doing. I hope to get this process down to where I can start building several instruments at a time. But for now, I got a whole bunch of boxes of just bridges and tuners, and I think I should just make one-offs. And then there's certain things I want out of pickups. Like I want a third screw for my pickups. I don't know if that equates me having to make a pickup ring and just use the pickups I like, or you know, get pickups made. I don't know why there isn't a really good third adjustment for pickups, because I've never really had pickups that I've been too comfortable with, like adjusting that other way. I mean, you end up shoving in like a guitar pick or something. I think Seymour Duncans have that third hole in the pickup, but I don't like it. It's too close together. You know, I don't want that either, really. Who knows what I'll come up with for that. This thing doesn't have any pickups. I kind of feel like I'm getting away with a whole bunch of things. Once you start putting in fancy switches, and you end up, it takes a lot of engineering. You have to have a guitar that's thick enough for certain switches. You have to have a big enough cavity. You have to be able to get in there. If you got a fancy arch top, it's going to really be weird for knobs and stuff, you know. That all has to be thought out. Comes a real rat trap. But I don't know. I like doing the one-offs. I got 3 guitars in the wall now that I really like, and I intend on keeping working on or selling or doing something with. I hope I can start selling pretty soon. I think I really kind of have a knack here. I'm putting together a jig so I can route the 3 slots that are going into the neck. I'm putting in the nut slot, and then after that, I'm putting in a slot on each side of the neck for this bumper thing that I'm doing. So I hope this turns out good. I think it's going to turn out good. This takes me a while to set up. I got frustrated today. Couldn't find anything. But once I do get things going, it goes really smoothly. It was, again, the extra length on the sides of the fretboard really helped me to line this up. I was able to get the holes a little bit wider, and that just, again, it just helped. 2, I found those 2 rails that I used for the neck, and they just happened to work. And the extra meat on the neck helps, you know, so it's good that you leave that stuff on until you have to take it off. But yeah, all the cuts went really smoothly. It's very dense wood, so I had to try really hard to get it through. But it works really good. I used a brand new 1/8 inch router bit.